All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is October 29th, 2018. This is a Monday night webinar, and the title of tonight's webinar is Boxes, Trend Lines, and Other Great Trade Setups. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we have, our live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Let's see, Mindy said on crude today it went up and down and would change the background. Really, the longs were during the red background, and that messes you up. I understand that, and truthfully, I think that the markets have literally changed quite a bit. That's causing a lot of this. You know, there's a lot of volatility in these markets. I was noticing Russell, for instance, you know, when I got up about 5 o'clock this morning, I think, this morning, and the stupid thing had already run. You know, kind of irritates you that you could have gotten up 30 minutes earlier and gotten, you know, probably close to 100 ticks, but that's life. That's the way it works. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and go to a chart and let's just diagnose it. Let's just see what we've got. I didn't have time to get everything going, so basically I just threw up a quick chart. That should be changing to the chart. It's not yet. Just 1 second. The pause button's not on. Let me double click it and see if it'll get rid of it. There we go. All right. All right. Like now, what I like to do personally when I'm diagnosing a chart, you know, is I try to make my mind as clear as possible with what's really going on. You know, because you have to kind of look at it like, well, right now, basically, you know, we're in a downtrend, right? I didn't go ahead and show the webinar chart tonight. I'm going to go into a little bit more of, you know, just looking at the charts. And I think Mindy had a real good question too, because there's so many of these that will start out and give you some good trades. But, you know, the one thing that I think that a person really needs to do is to realize that when you get this red background, to give an example, after like a trend change, you know, I'm not looking for longs at this time, okay? But if this was to actually do something like this, you know, let's say that you thrust up, like even into Phantom or something, and then pull back, like in the mid band, and then you take this out, then more than likely this is going to be one of those lightning 3 swings to begin with, and that would be an identified swing, and you'd be looking for a pullback, right? Okay, because that would be more than likely doing somewhat of a trend change. But until you get that type of thing, you know, when you're just looking at your chart from where you start out, you want to be sure and just draw on your chart. You can clearly see you have lightning 3 here and here, and I usually like to draw my lines, something like that. And pretty much until it breaks above that resistance right there, I'm not really looking for upward momentum at all. I'm looking more for, you know, like a short trade. Wouldn't that be what most of y'all would be looking for? Because until it takes out this resistance here, you know, this is exactly to the left right here, and this is secondary to the left. Now this would be a phantom trade, you know, and it would be a legitimate phantom trade if it were to hit its head there and roll over. Now in the room today, somebody was asking, on a phantom trade, you know, do you go ahead and just take it? You know, in other words, do you just jump into it? Well, what I found that actually works probably the best on phantom trades is actually your, you know, your first time into your phantom, but not so much line 6 as much as really looking at line 7, and then of course line 1 on the, you know, the long phantom. But see, here's an example right here though, where they just thrust up, they pull back into phantom. And that's why you have to really box it in also, because it's not necessarily going to come down to line 1. and it's not necessarily going to come all the way to line 7. So that's something we're gonna try our dead level best to get an algorithm going and get this trade to where it'll just automatically look for it, and it'll be up to you if you want to actually, turn on your box to take it, or different type of trades that we're going to have set up on it. Okay, but when you do get a thrust down, you have to look to the left to trade the right, and you can pretty much see you've got resistance here and here. So if you hit your head, for instance, right here at this line that I've got drawn, and you wanted to take a shot at it, you certainly could. You'd want to be careful with it, because you've got to basically let it start stair stepping back down to the other side. Okay, or you're just going to literally just take it and see if you can get a scalp. Now this one to me is already done though. If you were going to take mid-band, it's already done. Everybody see that? I don't particularly like this now, because it's already tagged mid-band and it's already down 5 ticks below it. So if I was going to grab this trade, it would have been right here at the mid-band, so you'd already be in some profit. Okay, let's see if we can get something. We're going to put Object Trader on here too. Go to our strategy, Object Trader, and replay. Got a total of that. We won't do 6, but it's got 6 on it. And what I'd be looking for would be like a phantom trade, to give an example. So the way I see this, resistance here and resistance here. Now this wouldn't be a phantom here, but if this was to roll over, I'd probably box it in. But if it was to come up to this phantom area right here, I would probably box it in also. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing to go slow enough where we can hopefully catch something. I've got it going about 8 times normal speed. Hopefully it'll give us a chance. But I'm going to go ahead and set up a trade to begin with, and I think it will try to come and check a resistance level, more than likely. Let's see, at mid-band, but then if it goes against, yeah, that's the thing, and the thing is, if you go, basically when I like the mid-band trade the most is when it just kisses a predictor. Like it's doing right there. See how that kind of just popped over? Now, if this trade was to not go that direction for you, I would literally get out of this thing in a heartbeat, because you can clearly see you've got support right here. Okay, it's minor, but it's still support. Okay, so if they hit their head there, then you want to really get out of it. If they crater through it, then they're going to check all the way to the bottom. Okay, so that's why, for instance, if you hit a mid-band and you get that one roll bar, even one roll bar, you can usually get a scalp. See, that would have been a scalp, but it was too late once we saw it. See how it's bouncing right off the support? That's what they do. They continually look to the left to trade the right. See how that's why you'd want to get out of that trade. If you would have scalped that, you would have gotten probably 7, 8 ticks on it, and that's not a bad little trade. Okay, I'd be looking for this trade right here. Looking to the left to trade the right, I've got a swing here and I've got a swing here. But see, basically, now we're looking for a phantom. Could this be a trend change though? Absolutely, it could be a trend change. Now notice how that went through that and it didn't fire. The reason it didn't fire is simply because it didn't, see, you just did fire just now. Okay, now the reason that didn't fire the first time is because it didn't come within 2 ticks and then tick back down. So that can be a little protection for you if they happen to kind of crater, or not crater, but actually just shoot the thing up like a bullet, and you're trying to short something, then you won't get killed in the trade. Okay. Now, usually what I personally like to do if I take a phantom is simply take some coin literally at mid-band, and when you're sideways like this, and you can tell you're pretty sideways even right now because you got this sideways background. See our background that shows up here? So you could actually just simply take some coin, look to the left to trade the right. You got a swing right here they haven't checked. They checked this one. They haven't checked this one or this one. This one's closer by, so I'd want them to check that one. Okay, let's see if we can get it. I don't know if we will or not. Does that make you nervous when they do that? It does me, obviously, because then you're down a little bit. But if you're going to take phantom trades, you're going to really have to do this. You're going to have to put them at line 0. You can even put it at line 0 if you want to. Like so. Whoop, not line 0. That was wrong. Well, that killed us. Line 8. Sorry about that. Let's take it again. It's inside the deal. Let's do it at line 8. Don't make a mistake like that with your real account, or you'll end up closing out a good trade. Now we got $155 to make back up. Have you ever had that happen to you? I have. I've absolutely had that happen to me, to make the wrong decision and kill a good trade. And the thing is, if you kill it at market, you don't necessarily get a good price on it. Let's see if we can get something. We're going to, again, go for mid-band and this swing right here to the left, because we've only got 2 contracts. Just going to see if we can get that. Now, this will barely get us to break even if we get this, so this isn't going to be great. Now, how many of you miss out on a decent phantom trade like this? Because so far, this is still a good phantom trade. Now, could it cost me some money? Absolutely. It'd be about 10 ticks at least, because that line 8, there we go. Looks like we're going to get it. We're going to barely be at break even, though. That's all right. See if we can get one target at least. Then you could go ahead and bring your stop, if they'll go ahead and give you a lightning swing. Now, right now, they've got a lightning swing right here. See it? Where you have a little thrust, retrace, no thrust yet. This is your lightning swing. See if we can get anything. We're going to be at a little above break even is all. You like it when the PM changes to red? The only thing is, maybe sometimes that's just too late, though. Because the one thing that I have found on phantoms is that a short phantom works between lines 6 and 7, and a long phantom works between line 1 and 2. And any type of waiting for, confirmation it just doesn't work. See, now we almost got that. Let's go ahead and protect our coin to at least right there at that swing, just in case they come back at us. There we got our target. Okay, we're up $50. Whoop-de-doo, right? Now look what they're doing though. They actually have a, move more like to the upside possibly. See, your mid-band changed. Could we possibly see if we could box this in? Well, let's find out if we can. We'll see if we can. That's a higher low, by the way. There's your swing to the left. See it right there? Mid-band is also a good place to go, like so. And you could actually turn that on like this and see if you could get a trade. And you could also, if they take this out, since we didn't get it mid-band again, we could take it if they take this swing out right here. Which way do you think it'll go? Remember, phantoms are a lot of times trend changes. There's no question about that. I know that's why Charles doesn't really like a phantom as much. I think it's more because, he likes to get into these, real trending that absolutely just go 70, 80 ticks, and you don't always get those. Matter of fact, you get your teeth slapped out a few times before you ever get a good trade period a lot of times. Okay, now this was basically because this was a higher low here. See the reason we did that? Now, if you didn't take this trade just now, where do you think another trade is on this chart? Anybody? Because what they're going to do, more than likely anyway, if they broke this swing here to the left, see it? They'll probably pop up, pull back, and kiss it, and you could more than likely get a trade. Okay, or you could box in at the mid band also. You know, like for instance, let's say that you're a little bit more conservative instead of aggressive. See this little swing right here? You can simply box it like that. I usually look to the left to trade the right. Turn on my box. Wow, I barely got that one. Okay, that looks like a decent little trade. Now, if this was to come back and sit on top of this swing to the left that it hadn't checked yet, I would probably add one. Simply because they haven't checked it yet. We'll see if they do. They may take it up first. That's fine. If they double top, you can always get out of them, by the way. See how it's trying to take that top out but can't just yet? You can always jump back in them if you want to. See, here's your top right here, and they haven't even checked it yet. Well, they did check it within a tick. So if you were really concerned that this trade could go against you at all, especially sideways like this, you could always tighten the daylights out of your stop. But I would more than likely get back in it if it pulls back. So I trust this trade a little bit more than this, simply because it got higher lows over there to the left. And I think we're going to be okay anyway. It looks like we are. Nope, it's double topping still. See if it... I'd probably put my stop right there simply because that would be lightning red if it goes against us. But I'd be willing to go back in if it comes down anywhere into this box again. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that was, missed that one. Had it on this one, should have had it on this one here. Keep in mind, if you see something like this, see where this is, you're right about this line 6. You can actually buy that if it closes above line 6 on a move like this. See how that's doing right there? Notice how it just popped like above line 6 after a retrace. Now that was a little riskier one than when it's thrust up, but that's still one of your minimum criteria trades. You know, where they'll pull back and they'll oscillate around line 6. Or, you know, since I missed it, I actually had it here instead of here. This is where I probably should have had it on the immediate left instead of this further left. And you'll miss some like that. That's no big deal if you do. Okay? But if you do miss it, don't let it run 100 ticks on you in case it decides to just run. Because, you know, a lot of times you'll miss a good trade if you do. Let's see, I was wondering about that because the background was still pink. Yeah, the thing is, what you're looking for when you get a phantom type trade, okay, you're basically, you know, doing a really, really deep retracement. If then they roll over and they take out these lows, you're going to continue heading down. Okay, but if they don't take out those lows, you got to start looking for this. See this thrust, retrace, retrace. See how this low and this low, this is higher? That's when you can box these in. And look, this thing's really going now. That's monster. Okay, but I would protect it like that with my lightning. Just one sec. Looks like a pretty decent little trade, huh? Okay, now if you were to get up in the middle of the night, let's go ahead and protect this. Got to swing over here to the left. So notice we're just taking some easy little trades, not lots and lots of contracts or anything like that. Just showing you how to box these in. And by the way, you can also put like trend lines underneath them. We're going to talk about that tonight too. Let's do a trend line. Let's see if we can get it drawn in time. No, it's already breaking it actually. I'll have to move it a little bit like that. Do a wedge. It's already broke it, so we're out. Okay? Now, if you just got a trade like that, see how that broke that trend line? A lot of times you can actually protect your trade by doing that. Okay? And then draw on your chart. You got to swing right here. You got to swing right here. And you expect if they're going to head up, that they're not going to really take out this swing by much, but they're definitely not going to take this one out. Okay? Everybody see why? Because you've got to thrust up, you've got to retrace, and you've got a big thrust up. ABC, still it's thrust up, right? So this is actually kind of what they're doing right now. Okay? This is not an identified lightning swing right here yet. You don't have a number here at all. Okay? So could we box this in at mid-band? Well, look to the left to trade the right, and I would probably put a line like right across this area right here and across this area right here. And you're already too late because it already bounced off mid-band. That's fine. We missed it. No big deal. We'll see if we can get anything else. What we're going to have to wait for now is what, everyone? You got to wait for it to break stealth, come back and kiss, right? And we could get ready to take that trade. Let's see if we can get it. Well, that's even mid-band, so we're not even going up here yet. Got support right down here. Now, usually, if I see something like that right there, I will just hit the button. Simply because that's a line one trade. See how perfect that was? All right, and then put your targets at mid-band. See if we can get that. And you definitely put your stop where, everyone? Right there at line 0. See if we still get something. They may get us. We'll find out. Line 0. You going to get me? Nope, not yet. Now this is when you just love it, when they just, try to take you out the best way they can. See, now you have a high, you have a low, you have a higher high, you have a higher low so far. Okay, so we're still good on our trade. Now, if we had like multiple contracts, I'd probably do a runner, but with just 2, I'm going to just go for like mid-band if I can get it. We'll just try to do some easy type trades and see if we can get some decent trades. Now, Mindy, on your question from earlier, what would it take to change this to a downtrend by just what I've got drawn on the chart? Because I always look to the left to trade the right, and I acknowledge all the swings. It would have to break here, wouldn't it? Right. It's exactly right. I'd probably go to break even more than likely. Just in case. We don't need to give our money away. See if it gets up to mid-band at all. That's also a swing over there to the left, by the way. Okay, so let me ask a quick question. If this was to break and change the background to red, when would you be looking for shorts? Now, by the way, you can scalp. Keep in mind, for instance, if this comes up to mid-band and rolls over, you can scalp this because this is looking like it might want to roll over. They're just not looking real strong. So could you actually do one of the trades like Charles likes to teach? Let's see, we got a swing right across here and here. Like so, that's our predictor right there. So could we see if we could box it in, or maybe a trend line? You want to see if we can get a quick little trade with a trend line? We'll check it out. Let's just see. Not as interested in the money on this as showing you, somewhat how to get into some of these trades. So let's just see if it doesn't take us out first. Let's go under this swing right here. See the thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace? It's a little micro swing. Let's speed it up. See if it gets us. It didn't get us, okay? Now, what if this was to decide just to keep on trucking? Well, now that I've gotten out of it, unfortunately, I have to go back in it. So what would I be looking for? Anybody? I'd be looking for it to change back to a blue midband and then pull back and kiss in my minor area. Or I'd be looking at boxing it in, right? Okay. Let's see if we can do a wedge. Let's go. I don't like that, obviously, because it's already out of it. See there? So I don't think I'd be doing a wedge as much on this side as I would this side. So you want to box it in instead? We can do that. I've got a trend line drawn, though, if it breaks it. But let's go ahead and do a box, since the webinar is mostly about a box. All right, we'll do a short or long. Touch +2, and I'm going to turn this off for just a second so I can set my box. Got to set my region. Okay, so let's look to the left to trade the right. We got a swing right over here to the left. So I would probably want to at least break that. It's a pretty good little resistance area. And we got a little support right here with lightning, so I'd want to at least break here to head down. See it right here? Little swing, thrust, retrace, thrust. So that's where I'd pretty much want to short it, would be if it breaks that swing right there. And we've got it long and short. See which one fires. Okay, it looks like we've got our, I didn't do touch plus, unfortunately, so it just touched my region. Hope that works. Let's put a tight stop. Well, we could actually just simply reverse it if it does take this box out. If it was to pop up really quick on me, I'd probably be back more than likely close to break even if that happened. But let's see what happens here. We boxed under midband. Got a swing right there and a swing right there. Everybody see them? There and there. There we go. We got them both. Okay? So basically, if you want to even scalp around like these midbands and things like that, you can do that. Now, keep in mind when you're looking to the left to trade the right, though, you want to be sure and get in as close to this midband if it rolls over as possible. This, to me, is still a little bit late, but looking to the left to trade the right, it was also a little swing area, so we kind of trusted it. And it did get us a scalp, so we're good to go. Okay? Now, looking at this chart, though, what is the overall trend? Anybody? What's the overall trend? Well, maybe getting ready to go short, but let's find out. It's going to have to take this out first. Higher lows and higher highs. If it does not take this out, I am not looking for a short. I'm looking for longs. Now, I did go ahead and short one, but now I'm not looking for a short again until it does what? What's going to have to either thrust through that line and get me short on it and come back and kiss it, or it's going to have to do basically like a lightning maybe to the upside, very possibly. We'll see what we get. Let's speed this up just for a moment. It's a red background. Now, Mindy, this is what you were talking about right here. And even a midband that's magenta now. You see that? Okay. That's a higher low, though, so far. But would you just box this here? Probably not, but you do have thrust, retrace, thrust. You got resistance right across here, like so. If it was to take that out, could it get to the mid-band? Very possibly, because that is resistance on the left. I probably wouldn't take that trade, though, simply because of that right there. And that's the same thing you're asking about right there, I think, is, the mid-band's now changed, the background's now changed, but this is not a short yet. Because what I look for, and even though it's got a lightning 3 now, notice this has an identified lightning 3, thrust, retrace, identified when it took out the swing to the left. This is not identified, thrust, retrace, barely took out that swing, so this is your identified swing. So I wouldn't be looking for shorts even though this background is red. Now, could it change to a short? Absolutely it could. If it, for instance, kisses mid-band and decides to roll over, we could definitely box it. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that. Got support right under here, like so. So we're going to turn on short. And we've got resistance right across mid-band right there, so we'll turn on long. Let's box it and see which way it decides to go. We're boxing in around mid-band. Which way do you think it'll go? I'm kind of leaning actually towards the long, actually. More than likely it'll go up, yeah. How do you turn off the box so I don't forget and have another trade? The way you do that is you just turn this off here, Greg. For instance, if let's say that you don't want to take this trade, you just turn these off. That won't take any trade at all if that's turned off. Now, if I turn this on or this on, then it's looking for the B bottom of the box for a short and a T top of the box for long. And I've got touch plus 0. We better put at least touch plus 2. There we go. We just got a long. All right, so we've got a swing to the left. Since we've only got 2, I'd probably take that one and this one, like so. And you could actually, obviously, run a runner, try to get the top instead, like so, and then go for a runner and put you a stop just underneath that little swing area right there. Okay, now if you miss this trade, you've got to wait for a retracement of some kind, okay? Or actually even a little box. See this little box formed right there? If you weren't in this at all, could you take that if it just simply took out that box like that? Yes, put your stop underneath the swing like so. Close of the bar. Okay, because if it goes against us, we're going to want to get out of it. We're not wanting a retrace of any kind. Okay, so if you're going to take little bitty consolidation patches, then that's the way you want to do it. Otherwise, you're chasing it. Now, as far as if candles just go straight up, don't chase it at all. See how that's got a little consolidation patch? You can box these in. When it's got a little 3 there and a little 3 like this. But keep in mind, if you take a trade like that, don't let it even go against you at all. Thing's on fire. Look to the left to trade the right. There's a swing over here to the left. I'd probably protect some coin there. Right underneath there. That's your lightning 3 swing. Okay, everybody see what I'm talking about here? Notice that this thing just literally just popped right above resistance and off it went. And we tagged it right. We had it to go either direction. Okay, so that turned out to be one heck of a trade. Now, does everybody see you can't get in this thing now, though? You can't get in it because it's already run. Okay, so If it's run like this, then what you're going to have to do is at least wait for it to touch line 6. That would be a very aggressive trade. Or if it breaks stealth in line 6, that would be the better trade. And that's the one I would opt for. But sometimes you just hate it when you miss a good trade like this to begin with. And you can, see these little consolidation with 4-range bars, and you can actually box those in. That is chasing a trade. There's no question about that. But sometimes it just goes and goes, and it never goes back against line 6 or stealth. So those are consolidations that you can take if you want. They're real quick consolidations. You put your stop very tight. Okay. Now, if you weren't in this trade at all, let's see if we can get one. I'll just kill that trade. Let's see if we can get a trade based on minimum criteria. Okay, our minimum criteria is what? We're going to have to break stealth and line 6. And right now, stealth is moving around. So you're going to have to move it each time and see where it's going to be. That's line 6. No break. Get a region started just so you'll be ready. We're not going to tag anything yet because we're going to wait for it to actually draw where we want it. No line 6, no line stealth yet. There, it looks like we may be getting it. That kind of topped out, didn't it? All right, let's see. There's stealth. Just barely touched stealth. Going to have to wait. What I'm talking about now is minimum criteria, because if you try to get one when it kind of starts breaking out, you can box this. Would you take this now, though, after a thrust like this? I wouldn't. Because with that kind of a thrust, you do expect it to do some kind of a pullback. Let's see if we get a predictor even or something like that to get it. Let's get this out of the way for a second. You got a swing right here. Pretty much still topped out, though, isn't it? I'd bring it down a little bit. We want to at least get below, right on line 6. Missed it. See, that's higher low even. Just missed it. That's all right. We'll see if we can get it again. Yeah, the one thing about it, if you miss a trade, you can't really go chasing it unless you get these little tiny consolidation patches, or if you do hit lines, the stealth here, it just didn't happen to pull back enough below it for me. Let's see if we can get something. We got pretty good so far. And this is tonight is about boxing in reasonable trades. Boxes and trend lines. We'll go into trend lines here in a few minutes too. See if we can get some trend line type trade. All right, let's see. Line 6. This is a line 6 trade. If it closes below it. Now that closed below stealth, but not line 6. It actually wicked line 6. So that's probably going to go deeper, more than likely. That's okay, though. If it doesn't take out this swing right here, we'll stick with it. And I'll go even more if it bounces off that predictor and takes out this little, you can kind of see a trend line right here. But we don't want it to go all the way to too much underneath this swing right here. Looking to the left to trade the right, we got our 4. See if it works. Come on, Russell. There we go. I'd probably tighten my stop just in case, especially with 4. Because you can get whacked pretty quick with 4 contracts if you're not careful. Everybody see how I took the what we call the minimum retracement on that? Now the best way to take that is to actually, let's get this out of the way so you can see it. Charles teaches this trade quite well too. See where it breaks stealth here? It closed below it, and it closed below line 6. So anywhere in here, when it goes back above line 6, you can grab that trade. I wouldn't box it like here because your top's right over here. I'd literally take it the moment it goes back above line 6. You know, if it's going to do that shallow of a trade, you'll usually see it hold micro on the side here. See where I drew my line? So we got a decent little trade. And I'd probably be protecting some coin on this too, because that looks like it might be a double top again. We'll see. Stop's too low. Yeah, you don't have to keep your stop that low, Mindy. What I would do in a case like that would be, you got a thrust, retrace. You got a swing right across here that's identified. You could actually keep your stop right in through here. Now you can put it here. See how it's identifying that swing? It just depends, you know, how quick you want to get taken out of a trade, because remember, there's 3 trends on this chart, plus the 4th one. So if you get taken out on a minor trend, then you have to look for another place to get in. Mid-band on a $5 instrument is not bad if you've only got like 1 contract left, or maybe even 2. But you don't really want to use, the mid-band as much if you're trading like 4 or 5 contracts at one time, because your stop would be way down there. See, this is actually doing a little lightening up. Could you protect it like that? Could you then protect it like that? Because it'll finally run out of movement. No question about it. But sometimes the stop can be too tight too. Is that too tight? Anybody? I find that if you look to the left to trade the right and you go below the 2nd swing that's identified, see that one right there, and go below that one, you're usually good to go. Now this is micro. This is really micro type stuff. So if they break this, then they're probably going to pull back a little bit anyway. Okay? And you could be stopped out, no problem, right? It looks like it's going to get us anyway, actually. See how your power meters went red? Okay, we're stopped on it. No big deal, right? Where's our next trade? Well, let's see here. Looks like it's already happening to me. It's bounced off a predictor. What if you missed that trade? Draw your lightning. Look to the left to trade the right. Got resistance right there. Could you actually, I think I just walked it through it. There we go. There we go. We got it. And I'm going to add one more if it comes back into my box. No lower than that right there. We really want a higher low if this is going to continue heading up. Okay, now what if you missed this trade entirely? Does everybody see on your chart where you could look very possibly to get back in again? What's your predictors? They're pretty good about this. See how that predictor right there predicted just before mid-band? We got a little bit late, actually. That's because we got taken out and we were already popping up. Okay, anybody have any questions on how to use the region though? You know that you can actually move that around live on your chart. You can add to the trade in real time on your chart if you want to. See how that came right back down in my box? I could add there if I wanted to. Put my stop just underneath the swing, underneath mid-band, because we expect higher low. If we're going to take this top out, you can't take this low out. Not if it's going to head up anyway. Shouldn't really take that one out right there. I'll keep my cursor there, see if it does. Lightning swing. See how it's just checking it? They always look to the left to trade the right. Now, if they take this out, then we're not heading down because obviously you kind of double topped here. So they could take this out a little bit and then even head up still. But in a case like this, I would probably still keep my stop just underneath the swing for right now because they haven't started stair-stepping back up yet. See your lightning? So we don't have any way to put our stop any higher just yet. Turns green, I will. Now you could. Right underneath there. Exit on close. See why I did that? Because this quit stair-stepping down and then it started stair-stepping back up when it closed above this little micro swing. That's when this went green. Okay? You want to see if everybody can pull the next one, and let's see if we can box it together. You want to do that? All right, let's see. Let's just pretend you missed this, and let's put it in fast forward. Let's just see. What's it doing right now? By the way, I'd stop out of that because that's below mid-band. What's it doing right now? Anybody? What would you do in a case like this? It's retracing, but where would you start drawing your box? Knowing that already broke mid-band. What's our next trade? Right, a phantom. Absolutely. So let's see if we can get a phantom. You want to? All right, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious because this has run up 1, 2, 3, 4, big time. So to continue heading up, they cannot take this swing out right here. See your high, your low, same high, higher low, higher high. This is an identified swing, yes, but this is your most important one here. So this is the one it'll take to actually take it to the downside. All right, so anything above here, we're going to be getting, if we get a higher low than this, then we're going to be looking to still head up, right? Okay, so let's see if we can get a phantom trade. Now, I would be ready to take this if it happens to go above mid-band. Right now, right above here, so we'll turn that on. And then we're going to see if we can get a phantom like that. Does the band have to be short line 7? Lewis, I'm not following you on that. Does the band have to be short line 7? Well, yes, absolutely. This was not a phantom trade at line 7, no. You mean short? Could you take a trade like that short if power meter actually goes red and you're going to get that retracement? I'd be careful doing it because, see, you would have gotten it here and it would have gotten you, what, 3 or 4 ticks and then a big monster move up. So I doubt if I'd do that. Now, could you do it instead like with a trend line? Very possibly. Because see how that finally broke that trend line right there? Could you actually short that trend line? Yeah, but in a case like that, I'd still be real careful because to me, this is still an uptrend until it takes out phantom. And it's still an uptrend to me until it takes out this swing right here. Because if you draw your lightning 3, you'll see it. Let's draw it from down. We'll draw it from all the way at the bottom. All right, see your high broken, high, low, higher high, higher low, same high, higher low, higher high. That's your swing. There's a phantom trade right there. Now, usually what I do when something like this happens is I start getting my box where I'm looking for either a bounce above phantom, because they don't always do all the way down to Phantom, this may just do a deep bar probe and pop it up. But if it does a line 2 type trade, you'd probably want to be in this trade pretty quick. See, like that, we're in it. All right, and then I'm going to actually go ahead and add one if it takes that out. So we're in a line 2 trade, Phantom. Our stop would be at 0, like so. And you can do Object Trader to actually manage that trade for you by doing trend, line 0, and go ahead and put your trail at 0. See, I already had mine at it, but it'll keep it at 0, so that if this trade goes against us, it's going to stop us out. But if it doesn't go against us, then we're good to go on a Phantom trade. Now, like I say, I personally like a Phantom. If it goes between lines 2 and line 1 on a Phantom type trade like that, I like that trade. It doesn't always go to line 1. When they go to line 1, I'll grab them in a heartbeat because they'll usually bounce up to the mid-band. Try it in sim, just try a few in sim. And you can even go into your Object Trader strategy. And I won't turn this off, but if you were in your Object Trader strategy, you can actually tell it that you want to do like, let's say that you just wanted to do 10 ticks, for instance, just set a target for 10 ticks and, put on 3 to give an example, it'd be $150. See, this trade's still working. It's a Phantom so far. How do I turn off that trend setting in Sidebox? The trend setting right here, just turn trail enabled off like that. That would disable it. Let's speed this up. This must have been real slow about this time. Decent little trade. Got it going way too fast. I'm going to leave that at line 0 just to see what it does. Just got us a decent trade. Everybody see that? Now that turned out to be a pretty decent little trade, didn't it? Okay, so you're out of a trade now. What's the goal next time around? If you missed this trade entirely, what would you do? Anybody? Line 6, right? Well, you're at the top. So more than likely it's going to pull back a little bit. They usually do at a double top. We'll find out if they do. And let's see if we can get ready for a line 6 trade. So we're looking for a trade from here to below stealth. Just somewhere in this area here for right now. Remember, it's got to close below stealth though. And line 6. Came right to my line. Now, was that a little gutsy? Well, in a way, but it closed above line 6, so I grabbed it. See, it just wicked it, but it closed above it. That's when I hit the button. It closed above it. So that's what you call a medium retracement trade right there. And I would like to actually see that trade absolutely automated. Green background, blue or medium mid or lime green midband, and a box. Okay, what if you missed this trade entirely right here? Where would your next trade be on this chart? Anybody? Well, you can clearly see let's just turn this off for a second. Let's get rid of all lines and let's diagnose this chart in real time. We got a swing right across here. All right, we got midband right here. We got a swing right here. Didn't get us in yet, did it? Got to get down to my line, at least mid-band. Could you box this here? It did close above line 6. You're right. It actually did. I didn't catch that. Bounced off of mid-band. So I'm in it. Put my targets right here at this top. Run around her. Put my stop just under mid-band. If it does a lightning, we'll take it out. Watch for any red lightning. It's double topping a little bit, isn't it? Now, does everybody understand totally? Because I'll explain it in detail, and I'll show you where a video's at, where you want to really watch for this trade, because I absolutely just love this little trade right here myself. This retracement right here, with certain criteria, is a very, very good trade. Okay, the criteria is that it has to be a higher low than the previous low. Okay, and obviously it would be if Phantom's heading up, right? See where your Phantom's stair-stepping up. You know, your low was way down here, so wasn't that obviously going to be a good Phantom if it didn't take this out? Now, would we have been ready to take this trade if it would have taken this out? You know, something like that, come back and kiss, like right in this area here, and then rolled over? Absolutely. But when it comes down to that Phantom like that, if you just grab line 2, as close as you can get to line 2 to line 1, you'll usually get a decent trade. At least a mid-band, if not higher. Now, see, that actually went with my power meters. Both of them are red. We'll leave it. We'll put our stop right there. While I was talking, my power meters went red. Okay, it looks like it's going to get us. Not yet, though. Came close. I think it's still going to get us. It's stair-stepping down. Is what correct above, Lewis, on your question? Let me see, just a second. I remember you were telling me short band up, long band below. Is that right? Well, yeah, what you got to do, let me take a few minutes and just show some Phantoms, and you'll see exactly where to take them. Let's just kill this trade. We don't care. All right. What you're looking for every single time on a Phantom is this certain criteria. All right. You have to go from a mid-band, that's the opposite color, which are short, to go long. Okay, that's your long color mid-band. And your first time Phantom, you just start watching for it to take out swings, and you just keep watching this area right here. And as soon as it gets that area right there, now that's not saying there weren't some great trades, because I already did those. But your Phantom trade is a deep retracement trade, and that's it right there. See, your Phantom trade will come between line 2 and line 1. Your criteria, though, is that you really don't want it to have broken your lightning 3 on your left side. Okay? Because if it's stair-stepping up, then more than likely it's going to continue stair-stepping up. Now, where a Phantom won't work as well, let me see if I can find one. Okay, here's a good one right here. Still, this is a good one even for a short. So you had a long mid-band, you went short, Phantoms right up in here. Okay, you did ratchet down below your lightning swings, see them? So that's a good Phantom trade right here. And you just simply hit the button. You know, literally, when it goes in this area right here, usually I just simply just click. And you usually get that. Okay, and you put your stop at 0. or pardon me, 8 on a short. Don't get that wrong on your trend. Okay, so you put your stop at 8 on a short, and you just try to get down to mid-band. Okay, let's look at another phantom trade. They're all over the place, by the way, and they work out quite nicely. Let me just show you something. And this is not like after the fact. You can actually see that these do this. See, it goes from green, phantom, 10 ticks. See it right there? That probably wouldn't have been a phantom to me, though, because it didn't actually go between 2 and 1. I don't like that trade, so I usually skip it. All right, then you had a phantom here. That did go to line 6. Okay, but I usually like for it to close inside this area right here. Otherwise, I don't like it. I would have probably not taken this one, though, because, see, it took out the lightning swing. See, if you were looking at this in real time, if you missed this phantom, you're not looking for a higher phantom because that's lightning 3 right there. And if it takes out lightning 3, then more than likely it's heading up. See there? So you've always got to look at that lightning 3. You know, this was a legitimate phantom right here, except it's not my favorite one because I like it to go actually above line 6. But I'll still take this trade, and it probably would have done 10 ticks at least, because you would have just simply grabbed it when it hit that resistance and rolled over a bar, if you could have caught it in time. Okay, so look on each chart, and you're going to see it time and time again. Long trend, phantom trade. If you boxed it, you didn't even get that trade. See there? But if you fired it aggressively, then you just get out at line 0. That trade costs you money. Okay, because this phantom didn't work if you're an aggressive trader. And the only way I can see this works is being aggressive. You've got to get it at line 1 because it'll try to go to mid-band and you can get those ticks. If it breaks line 0, you know, what did it cost you? 6 ticks. Maybe 7 or 8 with slippage. But then you change to a mid-band that's magenta, and your phantom is up here. So you're looking for that phantom, and then you keep moving it to your phantom area. And there's your phantom area right there. And that trade worked out. See there? So, I mean, I think they're great trades myself. I look at them all the time on charts, but you have to take them literally aggressively, you know, because what if you boxed it in like this and then just tried to get to the mid-band, and you had to wait for that bar to close, and then you got 1 tick to the mid-band? That ain't going to work, because usually they will bounce at this support here on the left and take off. You're just trying to get the retrace to mid-band. So you certainly don't want to, you know, sell this thing short by boxing it in. That'd be too late. To me, this is the sweet spot right here for this phantom. If it closes inside this little area here, you just click the short button and you get a trade. You click it right here. If the bar goes up, you get a trade. It didn't go up. This one might affect you here. Okay, there's another phantom right there. They're literally just all over the place, and they do work. I see them continually working out. There's a phantom right here, barely a phantom. There's a phantom right there. Didn't quite get to mid-band, but it wouldn't have cost you. You could have gotten out. Here's a beautiful phantom here, line 6 to line 7, straight down. Now, will they give you some heat? Like I said, I usually like for it to close inside this area right here. I don't like that one that wicks it, because that's usually not enough of a trade. I do like it when it closes inside it, and I'll usually just click the button, put the stop at line 8, and down she goes. Okay? Try it just in sim and see if it doesn't work. And we didn't get a chance to really talk about the wedge trade as much tonight, but there are wedge trades all over the charts too. You know, you can see wedge trades that if you want to just try to get scalps and things, you can certainly do it. You know, for instance, if you're even in chop like this, wait for a little thrust, retrace, draw a trend line. You'll see trade after trade. Like thrust, little retrace, you short it, you get a trade. Thrust, little retrace, you short it, you get a little trade. See there? Thrust, little retrace, you short it, you get a little trade. And then here's a really good one right here. Thrust retrace, pretty much just drawing underneath those lows, trend lines. You can do that. There's a lot of our people that do that. And if you think about this, even when it's sideways like this, you know, where you were getting nice long trades and everything, you could just simply short the breaks on trend lines. Like so. Here's another one setting up right here. Will it set up? It's hard to say, but there it is right there. You know, will it? Let's see if it breaks it. If it does, no break, no break. There's your break. Wow, that was a quick break though, wasn't it? There you go. Yep, that one would have probably just barely scalped you, if anything. Where they work really, really well is when you get this pretty sideways like this. Could you get another one drawn though? Let's see. You got one right through here right now. Now keep in mind this is counter trending too, because this trend is way up. Yeah, I don't think I'd do that one. That trade's going to the moon. Okay, anybody have any final questions before we wrap? Hope you got something out of it. You know, we called quite a few good trades in the room today, just like we always try to. And keep in mind that boxing in trades, look for those phantom trades first time after a trend change. Don't hesitate on them though, because, you know, if they close, but you know, the one that I like the most is when you've got the right color mid bands and you get that phantom trade. If it closes above line 6, it's pretty much a done deal. You know, and you'd be amazed with like 3 contracts, that's a $150 trade, even though after that the trend changed up. How do you fix your power meter? They're just boxes with no colors in them, Kenneth. Well, are you using our template or your own template? Because power meter is populated by the lightning indicator. Yeah, what you have to do is you have to turn on, you can make lightning transparent or anything you want anyway, but the power meters are done by lightning 3, to give an example. See, that's that power meter right there. Lightning 1 is that power meter. So if you don't have lightning in your indicators, you won't get it. Those will be just blank. Okay, now on our website, we do have the template that I use each day in the webinar, and just put it in your doc folder, document, NinjaTrader 7, templates/chart. There's another phantom. Now I got this going like 100 times, so it's pretty quick. But see how easily you can make money on those phantoms even? Think about that in oil, to give an example. That's a 10-tick trade with 2 contracts is $200. While everybody else is just looking at, well, this thing's going sideways, I can't make any money at it. Well, it bounced right off of a phantom first time after a trend change. And did that one work? That one worked too, see there? Right to mid band. Beautiful. Beautiful trades, actually. Everybody see that? That's just a typical phantom trade right there. Russell loves to do line 2, and then it even tries to get as close to line 1 as it can, and then it takes off. I see that a lot on it. See how that closed below line 2 right there, and that one closed below line 2? Just barely, but it did. Now, what phantom are you looking for right now, anybody? I'm trying to trick you. Now I'm not trying to trick you. Where's your phantom? Anybody? Where's your phantom on this particular chart? Right up here? How about that? Phantom trade. See what I mean? You just got to see the mid band, and you got to go for the phantom between line 6 and line 7. You got to see the mid band, you got to go for the phantom between line 1 and 2. That particular trade should be able to make you some decent coin. All right, thanks everybody for coming. I ran this a little bit late. I appreciate everybody coming tonight. Would you just exit at market when it starts stair-stepping down against you? Well, Davin, on your question, keep in mind the phantom, you're going to go with the color of the chart, the color of the midband. Okay, you're looking for this phantom on the long side. When this changes to a short colored midband, like this, you're looking for this upper phantom. See where it hit it right there? Took it all the way down. That's a beautiful trade. Now that ratcheted down, so would you have taken that phantom? Yep. It ratcheted down below the swing. You take that phantom right there. Sell it the moment it goes up between line 6 and 7 and closes back below it, or if it closes a bar, just jump in it, turn on your bar close, and then just try to get down to midband. So now you've got a phantom right here. That one actually worked. See, I would have taken that one too because it ratcheted up. It was a literal phantom. You got it at line 2, you got to midband. That was about 10 ticks. Where's your phantom now, though? Your phantom's right here. Man, I got that thing moving, don't I? So you want to just check it just real quick and see? We'll see if it does. Was that a phantom? Absolutely it was. See it? Midband went from long to short to phantom. Boom. Does it stay that way forever? No. If it changes the other direction, what do you do as a trader? You get ready to take it the other way. You can box in, by the way, and you could still, for instance, if this was to break like right here where this swing is, could you actually short this for a quick 10 ticks? Very possibly. See it break it? See there? Because that was a lightning 3. So would I have taken that? Probably in the room we would have. We've got it going way too fast to trade it. But I was watching it and I saw that form. Lightning 3. That's what you're looking for. See, so would this have been a legitimate phantom? The answer was no, because you had a lightning 3 down here, and I would not have taken that phantom. Because remember, we're looking for phantoms that don't break these lightning 3s. Because when the lightning 3s work, just real quick and I'll let y'all go, you'll notice this. Now this one actually broke its lightning 3 too, so, but the difference was that it's actually in my personal opinion, a better phantom because it was still stair-stepping up. This was actually starting to go pretty sideways, so could you have skipped that phantom? And the thing is, if you actually get taken by a phantom, would you have taken that phantom to begin with? Because it went down through line 2, line 1, went through line 0. So would you have taken the trade? It never even flipped the candle. So no. But if it flipped it, I probably would have taken it. Okay, everyone, thanks. We'll see you in the morning. Good night, everyone.